So first, I'm going to create two versions of my avatar. I'm gonna hide the original one. And we're gonna be using one of them for installation of the Timezones table, the whole table. And the second one, I'm going to show you how to install like basically two Timezones we're choosing only or less. So I'm just gonna rename this to all Timezones table. And this one is going to be free Timezones. Please let me use number 3, thank you, yes. So we will put our table onto the avatar. You can find it in the Timezones Around the World prefabs folder. Time Around the World is the whole thing, so you drag it onto your avatar. Now we need to position it and anchor it to an object so it moves with, for example, with our elbow. So I'm gonna make an empty object under elbow. I'm gonna call it a elbow anchor. Then I go into Time Around the World and I drag the elbow anchor onto the slot. I change the strength to 1. I activate and 0 it. And now it's actually anchored with our elbow. So now I'm gonna do this like somehow like you know, approximately, because we don't need to be exact. This is just a tutorial. A bit more. There you go. Position it upwards so we can actually see what's happening. And I'm pretty sure you guys are going to be really creative on where to put this and how to use this. So do let me know, by the way, my Discord server. Do share your creations. So now this is very nicely put. You can also scale the object, by the way. For scaling, you need to scale the actual object. And for rotating and moving, you need to rotate and move the anchor. So now that we have done this, we need to give it some functionality. So we go into our avatar and we're going to be merging an FX layer and parameters. And if you don't have anything in those slots yet, you can put in what I've prepared for you right here. But I have something on my avatar already, so I'm going to show you the merging. So go to VR Labs, Avatars 3.0 Manager. You drag your avatar in. You click the FX layer, add animated to merge. And for the whole Timezones table, you select FX all. And you merge on new. So we have like a backup in case we need it, you know, Unity moment or anything like that. And second thing, we're gonna merge our parameters. So we drag the parameters that I've prepared for you here. It's only 2 of them. Copy. Now they're added. And that's it. You don't really need anything else. Yeah, and I'm going to show you how to install it on the just free Timezones version. So to put just free Timezones of our selection onto our avatar, we start the same way. We have to find the prefabs that we want in the prefabs folder and put them on our avatar. So let's see, I'm gonna use Los Angeles, London, and for example Auckland in New Zealand, why not? So I have 3 here. And I'm gonna again create anchor, but I'm gonna create 3 different anchors so it doesn't get overlap at the same position. I'm gonna do it on the left hand. And like I said, you can put these things literally anywhere you want. So I'm gonna do left elbow anchor. I'm gonna make 2 copies of it. And I'm gonna drag the anchors onto the parent constraint slots, 280. There's London and Auckland. There we go. So now we're going to position all 3. Okay, the red arrow, there we go. I'm gonna position this one. There we go. Going to turn them, again post them. however we need. And like I said before, I'm going to do this just approximately. And if you want to again scale them, you scale the objects themselves. And if you need to position rotate them, you do it with the anchors. For example, I can scale Los Angeles, but I'm not going to do that. And to add functionality, we go to VR Labs Avatar 3.0 Manager. Drag the avatar in. FX layer, add animator to merge. And for this one, we're going to use FX separate because we use different animations for separate time zones. Merge on new. And also we need to add parameters. So if you didn't add parameters before, you just add them right here. And that's all. Now you're ready to, you know, take a look how this actually works in game. Optionally, you can also add a Hue Shift control, which is the same for both versions. You'll find the files inside of the extra Hue Shift folder in the VRChat files, right here. And you add an additional FX slider, parameters, and a little button, or more like radial control in your menu. So we go into your VR Labs Manager, you drag your avatar in. FX, you drag in FX, right here, merge it. We also add these parameters. Oh, that's the menu, I think. There we go. Copy parameter, which is only one parameter for the hue shift, color. And you go into your menu. And I have a space here, so I'm gonna add a button, radial puppet, Hue Shift float, and I'm gonna call it Timezones Hue Shift. And you can control the color of the, you know, the clocks in game. So I'm currently in game, and I'm looking at my avatar with the whole timetable using my camera so we can see this clearly. And I'm going to start my OSC app, and let's see how the time gets displayed. So we can see one after another time zones are getting shown and everything is working correctly. I'm in the Paris time zone, so for me it's 5 p.m. and yes, it uses military time, so there's no AM PM, it's 24-hour format, so it's like very clear what time it is around the world. And I've done the same with the 3 time zones avatar. I can see that everything is updating correctly, and yeah, that's it. I hope you have fun with this little asset. I hope you, you know, understand time of your friends a bit better with this. You're gonna know what the time is around the globe if you need to, if you want to. Get creative. Let me know what you think, and send me some pictures of how you're using it. I also want to show you a bunch of examples you can do and what not to do when modifying this. So if you take a closer look, you can see the material. We're using decals as also the text, but also the indications themselves. You can easily change the colors to whatever you want. You can also edit the, if you're really skilled, you can edit the texture and change like different, make effects on it, whatever you want really. Do not rotate, do not position. Rotation is going to mess it up, and position is used actually to show the time. But you can also hue shift if you want. If you have a color on, you can hue shift it. You can do whatever you want. Basically, do not touch position and do not touch rotation and rotation speed and such. You don't want to do that. You can also change the emission strength. You can like literally make it how much you need. Guys, if you want to also modify where the text, the name of the city is located, you can do that. I imported into Blender the FBX for the separate time zone, and that pretty much all the numbers and the text is constrained in one phase. So we need to select this phase, and you can move it really whenever you want. You can also, if you don't want seconds, you can actually delete seconds. But please be careful. By the original design, these phases are connected, and you don't really want to skew much things. So I recommend separating by selection and then merging back. This way you will have them separate, but it's still going to work. Don't forget to have the mesh name the correct name, and you can move them like, let me do this also. Oh, I messed up the name. Let me fix it. And also move it, I don't know, like this, wherever you want. You can also delete the seconds if you want to. Just delete it. But yeah, and it's going to work. It's not rigged with bones. It's literally just textures getting moved around pretty much over the UV map of these tiles. So yeah, that's what it is. You have a lot of freedom to modify. And these two, by the way, these are actually the, you know, double buttons between the numbers. Let me show you in Unity. Those tiles are actually like these two. And if you look at the shared wireframe, you can see the how the topology works as well. So yeah, you have a lot of freedom. So be creative and let me know what you make.